If you just put a brand new SSD in your Mac product, maybe it's a MacBook Pro, maybe it's a Mac Mini, you're probably going to see this icon. This means you've got no operating system on your new drive. So in this video, I'm going to show you a couple different ways to get that operating system on there using internet recovery. Hey everybody, it's Chris from Family Geekery, and today we're going to be taking a look at internet recovery for these Mac products. So I've done a lot of videos showing you how to upgrade these things with new RAM, new hard drives, new SSDs, and I've done videos in the past on how to get macOS onto the new hard drive using like a thumb drive or something like that. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you internet recovery because you don't always need a thumb drive. A thumb drive is great if you have to do it over and over and over again, but if you're just going to do this once just to get the operating system onto your brand new SSD, then internet recovery is the way to go. So I've got this 15-inch 2012 MacBook Pro here, and it's got, obviously, no operating system on the hard drive. So I'm going to show you how to get into internet recovery so we can load this operating system right from Apple's servers. So let's start off by go ahead and powering down the computer. So we're going to press this button, hold it for a couple seconds, and let it boot down. Alright, now there's a couple different ways to get into internet recovery, and mostly it depends on what version of macOS you want to put on your laptop. So sometimes you may want to put the most recent version that's compatible with this computer. So for example, if you just put a brand new SSD in there and you want the newest operating system that it will take, then you would do it that way. Sometimes you want the oldest one or the original one that came with this laptop. So we're going to cover that first one first. So if you want the newest version of macOS that's compatible with this machine, then we're going to start up the computer with Option Command R. So I'm going to hit this power button. I'm going to immediately hold down Option Command R until I get something up on the screen. I'm going to hear the boot tone, and I'm going to wait until I see the internet recovery globe show up on the screen. There's the tone. The screen is turned on. And now that I see the globe spinning, I can let go of the keys. Now once you see this globe spinning, it's looking for the internet. And if you don't have an Ethernet cable plugged in, it's going to look for a wireless network. So in this case, it hasn't found the internet over Ethernet, so it says, hey, what network should I use? So you're going to use that drop down, select your home Wi-Fi, and log into it with the password. But for this video, I'm going to go ahead and plug in an Ethernet cable so that things are faster. So now it's found the internet, and it's going to start loading. Depending on the speed of your internet, this may take a couple minutes, or it may take a little bit longer. But go ahead and let this thing go ahead and download the operating system. Basically what it's doing is downloading a live version of the operating system that it can get into and start running the recovery mode for you. Alright, once recovery mode has been fully booted, you'll be greeted with a screen like this that shows some different macOS utilities you can do. So you can see you can restore from a Time Machine backup if you have one of those. You can reinstall macOS, that's what we're going to do. You can get some help online, or you can use Disk Utility. So if you have a brand new disk in there, you probably need to use Disk Utility first to format and partition your new hard drive. So let's go ahead and take a look at that real quick. And up here you'll find your hard drive. Make sure you don't mess with this disk image down here because that's basically the live operating system that's running right now. So here's your hard drive up here, and if it doesn't look like this, make sure you go to Show All Devices. So it may show something like this and just show the Mac HD or whatever the name of your drive is. So go here and go to Show All Devices. That way you can see the actual disk and you can see the partition. So if this is a brand new disk, you're going to select the disk itself, hit Erase. You want to give it a name, whatever you want to name it, and then you'll probably want to select APFS if this is a new drive and a new operating system, and then keep this as GUID partition map. And then you can hit Erase. I know it doesn't sound like it's the right thing to do, but Erase is exactly what you want to do because it's going to format and partition this drive. So once you do that, then you'll have your new partition here all ready for the new operating system. So once you're done with the disk utility, you can just simply close that and it brings you back to the utility screen. And then once we go to Install macOS, it's going to load the installer for us. And you can see now that we're greeted with the macOS Catalina install screen. And this is the newest version of macOS that's compatible with this particular machine. The operating system that you're shown here may differ depending on which version of MacBook or Mac Mini you're doing. If you have a newer version, then it may show one of the newer versions of macOS. So if this is the version that you want to install, you can hit continue. You'll agree to the terms and services, and then you'll be shown the new Mac partition that you just created in Disk Utility. Now at any time, if you want to back out of this, you can see there's no red X to get out of this particular screen. Just go up to the Install macOS Catalina, or whatever yours says, and hit quit right here, and you'll go right back to the macOS utilities. So that's how you would install your brand new version of macOS on this brand new hard drive. Maybe, like I said, you just upgraded the hard drive, or maybe you're getting ready to sell this machine and you want to just make sure that you wipe everything off. Going to Disk Utility and reformatting and then reinstalling is a great way to do that. So let's go ahead and shut this down and show you how to install an older version of macOS. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to install an older version of macOS onto this laptop, and in this case it's going to be whatever the original version of macOS was when this laptop was brand new. So maybe you're feeling nostalgic and just want to see the old operating system, or maybe there's something in the newer versions of operating system that you just don't like. So if that's the case, we're going to boot up just like we did before, but instead of Option Command R, we're going to hit Shift Option Command R. So let's get all of our fingers ready. Hit that power button and hold all those buttons down. We get the boot tone, we see the screen turn on, and we're waiting for that globe. And there it is. Release the keys, and now we're going to do the same thing we did before. We're going to let it go ahead and boot all the way into that recovery mode, and I'll meet you back when it's there. Alright, once this is booted up, you may see that it looks pretty similar, but you might also notice a couple differences. So we still have the Restore from Time Machine, and now this Reinstall macOS says, set up install a new copy of Lion. So that's the version that came with this machine originally. You can see we also have the Get Help Online and the Disk Utility. Those would work exactly the same. So you would go ahead and go into your Disk Utility, set up your hard drive however you need to, and then we can go ahead and go into Install macOS. And now you can see we're greeted with macOS Lion. So just like before, you would go ahead and continue through here, agree to the terms of service, and then select your hard drive and install your operating system. And if you need to get back out, remember there's no red X here, so you just click on Install macOS and then hit quit. So this would be a good way to downgrade your operating system all the way down to its original one, and then from there you can go into the Mac App Store and install any of the versions that are in between this oldest one and the newest one. So maybe you have a piece of software that needs a specific version of operating system, this would be the way that you could get there. So those two keyboard combinations I showed you are a way to get the newest version and the oldest version of macOS installed. There's also just the Command R. If you boot with Command R, it may boot up to a recovery partition if you have a recovery partition on your hard drive. Or if you don't, in the case that you put in a brand new hard drive or your hard drive was corrupted somehow, then it would bring you to one of these two internet recovery methods, and most likely the one that has the newer version of operating system. So that's about it for this video. Hopefully it was helpful. If it was, remember to give that thumbs up. If you like this type of stuff, you want to see more Mac tutorials, go ahead and check out the channel and hit that subscribe button. If you have any questions about this process, feel free to go ahead and drop them down in the comments below and I'll be happy to help you out. But thank you as always for watching, and until next time, peace out and geek out.